Hello and welcome back to Hollowponds Solo Sagas, and I will be quick this time. Today, it's Alien. Yes, we are back, and we are back with Alien. Welcome back, subscribers. Welcome back, non-subscribers. If you're a non-subscriber, why not subscribe? I'll mention that again later if I ever remember, which sometimes I do. So, where we left the crew is all sorts of shenanigans have kicked off. What session are we on? We are on our 15th session, and I think this is part 4 of Act 2. Part 4 of Act 2. What did we do? We left the crew. There's not many of them left. There's the original crew of the Red Dwarf, plus there is Parks, who was one of the dog catchers. So, where they were, they had just cleared out Science Lab 1, which was infected with lots of the motes. Parks torched a lot of it, so this Lab 1 is basically out of action. He spent 3 bursts of his incinerator and torched Lab 1. They then came back up, so they could have gone to the med lab. There is some stuff in the med lab they could have used, and the medipods, but they chose not to, and instead they have come up to the corporate suite, because Parks thought there's some stuff that he could nick there. And he won the argument to where to go. In opening the door of the corporate suite, from over in the corner of the corporate suite came charging Flynn as an abomination, well, as a reverend, a stage 3 reverend. So, what we're going to do, we've already converted John's into the first stage of an abomination, which is called mutant. So we'll convert Flynn to a mutant, and then we'll convert them both to reverence. So as we know what we're doing. So the mutant stage gives them a speed of 2, a strength increased by 3. So Flynn's strength goes to 5, and Flynn's health would go to 5. Their agility goes up by 1, so Flynn's agility goes to 4. The empathy is reduced to 1, and you cannot use any empathy-based skills can't be used. Firearms and other technological objects cannot be used, and the subject becomes immune to manipulation. Boom. Next one, they have progressed to being reverence, which means that, so first thing they're just infected, sort of black veins, angry all the time. This is a reverent, which means that the body has begun to mutate, the jaw has extended, the skull has elongated, their arms have elongated, like their clothing has torn. They have become the reverent stage. This means that their strength increases by a further 2. So that puts Flynn's to 7 and John's to 9. Their agility increases by 1, putting them both to 5. Wits is reduced to 1. No skills based on wits except for observation can be used. Still immune to panic. They have a natural armor rating of 3. And that's about it. So I've done both John's and Flynn, but at the moment only Flynn is in the room. So first off, what I was thinking is we need to work out whether Parks has entered the room, has entered into the corporate suite, or is standing at the door. Now we've got Crichton is carrying the Ava. We've got Lister has a weapon. Lister has Elliot's old pulse rifle. He no longer has any rounds for the shotgun, though he does still have the shotgun. Cat doesn't have a weapon, and Rimmer has his pistol. This is what they are equipped with as Flynn comes charging through. Now Parks had opened the door and was leading the way and was about to step in. Now the question is, does Parks just step into the room, or does Parks give the room a check before stepping into the room? Thus Parks is actually in the doorway. So let's roll Parks observation, which isn't great. Parks has a stress of 3 at the moment. Parks has a wits of 3 and has no observation. So Parks is going to, if he had the motion tracker, he would be right. So Parks is about to step into the room. He needs at least 1 hit to say that he doesn't step into the room, he's in the doorway, which might be relevant. 1 hit. Okay, so he didn't fully step into the doorway. He didn't fully step in. The door opened as Flynn started to charge forwards. Flynn stayed at the door, keeping the door open as Flynn charges forwards. Now, we will do initiatives and we will see whether Flynn gets to clear the distance and charge him, or he gets to fire first. Because he would get to fire, and then I'd say maybe one other person can fire around him, but not both. Right, so Flynn first. Flynn goes on a 4. Flynn can be that blue there. Next we have Parks. Goes on a 3. Parks goes first. That's good. So Parks gets a chance to shoot Flynn before Flynn charges in. Next we'll have Lister going on an 8. Rimmer going on a 5. Cat going on 7. Crichton going last on 10. So first we have door opens. I'll read the description of the corporate suite again, so as you remember, but it's wrecked. The room is ripped apart, wrecked. There's blood on the bed. Here we go. The wardroom and the quarters. This spacious area was once a point of luxurious. At one point was luxurious. The bed is soaked with blood. The couch cushion stuffing is all torn apart, and the furniture in the room is destroyed. If they search this room at any point, they will find some interesting stuff, I've just read, but they need to search the room first. And so charging out from the corner of the room, near a doorway at the back, they don't know what's behind that, of course. I suppose they would, because they've got the floor plans, but they're not looking at the moment. Comes charging this elongated armed person. Parks gets to go first on a 3. Parks is going to level the pulse rifle in Park's hand and give off a burst. We could try auto fire. We haven't done auto fire yet. He could just burst auto fire in, which means his stress goes up. But let's do that. We haven't done auto fire yet. He's going to put off a round or full auto. Weapons listed as fully automatic can fire long bursts or full auto fire. This counts as normal ranged attack, but with a few modifications. You get +2 modifications to your roll. Your stress level immediately increases by 1. Add the stress dice to your roll for the full burst auto. You can distribute any additional beyond the first. All right, he's going to go full auto. Parks already has a stress of 3, so that goes to 4. He has a range combat of 4. Sorry, he has an agility of 4. He has a range combat of 3. The pulse rifle gives him a 1, and going full auto gives him a 2. So he sees Flynn charging forwards, and he pulls the trigger hard at Flynn, who's coming pacing towards him at great speed. So Parks will do that as his slow action. That's not bad. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 hits. So Parks gets 5 hits, no panics. Outstanding. So Parks holds himself together. 5 hits, leveled at Flynn. Now this is AP armor, AP rounds, so it halves armor. So he has an armor of 3. So we go round up. So half a round up, which is 2 dice. So Flynn gets 2 dice of natural armor, no hits. So five shots going through, doing 2 points damage for the first one. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of damage on Flynn as Flynn comes charging forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So blasting Flynn across the chest and legs and arm, putting Flynn on 1 hit point left. As Flynn comes charging forwards with an inhuman scream, which fills the room as rounds penetrate him and parts of his body gets blown out. I don't know if I would imagine that would do, that's a lot of damage. I don't know, is there anything for sort of large damage criticals? No. Okay, so that was it. Next we have Flynn. Flynn now reaches Parks with his chop. Parks could have stepped back. Maybe Parks, if Parks steps back, no, that's good. Parks won't step back because Parks starts stepping back will then expose everybody else. If anything, Parks might move forwards into the room. All right, Parks is going to step forward as part of his move into, so he'll step forward, leveling and firing as Flynn comes charging straight into Parks. I mean, Parks has got body armor on. Well, same armor rating as Flynn's got naturally. So Flynn is charging in. So what is there for? Oh, Flynn now has, actually, I was looking at what sort of attack Flynn could do. Flynn doesn't get to do that. Flynn now uses, the subject is now handled as a full xenomorph and gets its own table for signature attacks. See next page. Abomination, stage 3 and 4 signature attacks. Okay, so Flynn charges forwards. 3, throw. The abomination grabs the victim and tries to slam it into the nearest hard surface. Roll for the attack using 9 base dice, damage 1. If the attack hits, the victim lands prone at short range from the abomination and drops. Right, so Parks doesn't step forward. Parks will use his quick attack to ready himself to block. That's more useful. That is a more useful thing to do. All right, so that is a throw. So Flynn runs into Parks, slams into Parks, attempts to grab him and just throw him behind him so as he can get to the others, which is 9 base dice. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Getting 3 hits. Parks is going to attempt to defend that. Parks has a 5 for strength, a 2 for close combat, and 4 stress dice. And Parks needs to get 4 hits to fully defend. Otherwise, Parks gets thrown behind him. Oh, close. 3. So 3 means he's dodged. Now he's got his armor, which is 3. If he gets 1 on this, then it's done no damage and he's able to resist being thrown. No, okay, so 1 damage goes through. Parks takes 1 damage and he is thrown. So it says here, the attack kicks the victim's lands prone at a short range from the abomination, dropping any hand and must make an immediate panic roll. Okay, so he's on 4 panic, 4 stress, 5, he's fine. He goes flying. So Flynn has picked him up and has thrown him from the doorway where Parks was standing across and into the middle of the room. Maybe there's like a couch or a bed over here and he's been thrown straight into that couch. It's a big green, beautiful couch, but stained red and the cushions are all ripped to stuffing. And Parks has been thrown into that couch. His pulse rifle has come out and come clattering away from him as he's hit the couch. And Flynn is now standing there, looking out of the doorway at Rimmer. Rimmer, who would have had his pistol drawn as they were moving through, will level the pistol from outside in the corridor at Flynn, who's in the corridor, and attempt to shoot Flynn. So Rimmer's got a lot of stress dice. Rimmer might just freeze. Rimmer has 6 stress dice at the moment. 2, 4, 6 stress dice. We could have given him, didn't really have time to reduce stress for this session. He's got 4 for agility and he has 2 for ranged combat. He does have a lot of experience points that we need to spend. We can spend 5 now and give him +1 ranged combat. All right, let's do that. We shouldn't really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's now got 3 for ranged combat. So Rimmer levels the pistol. Oh, and he gets +2 because he's using a pistol. He levels the pistol. Gets 2 hits. Well, no stress dice, that's all right. So he gets 2 hits against the abomination, Flynn. And Flynn gets 3 armor dice. No, nothing. Oh, man alive. I think Rimmer has just killed Flynn. So the rounds crack into Flynn. Flynn only had 1 hit point left, so that does 2. We're going to do a critical injury for Flynn just to find out what happens. Oh no, hold on. We've got, he's a xenomorph, so we roll on the xenomorph's critical injury table. Flynn's critical injury, D6. 4, last breath. The xenomorph is mortally wounded and contorts wildly. On its next initiative, it will try to kill the nearest victim, then the beast dies. If it's wounded again before then, it dies instantly. Okay. So, it falls to the ground in front of Rimmer, thrashing and screeching as it's contorting and writhing all over the place on the ground. We then have Cat. Cat is just going to step back down the corridor. Cat is going to make a move down the corridor down here to be as far away from this situation as possible. Cat is moving as far away as possible down here. I'm going to roll 2 of these. No, So Cat's all right. Nothing bad happened. Basically, those are the act dice to see if something weird or bad happens. So Cat moves down there. Lister now has got the pulse rifle. This thing is contorting on the ground. It says, on its next initiative, it will try and kill the nearest victim. Then the beast dies. If it's wounded again before then, it dies instantly. This is where Lister is going to step in with the pulse rifle that Lister's been carrying, point it, and pull the trigger. Now, there is a probability that if Lister misses, Lister will pierce the hull here, because this part is right near the edge of the hull, and I'm thinking that armor-piercing rounds that miss are going through the hull, and we will have an explosive decompression in this room. So, Lister has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stress dice, 3 agility, and nothing for ranged combat. Lister points the pulse rifle at the xenomorph, the neomorph, thrashing on the ground, arms extending, spitting and screeching. Oh. Okay, now if Lister's lucky, Lister rolls a freeze and doesn't pull the trigger. Otherwise, there's explosive decompression in this room. Parks is going to have to try and get out as quickly as possible. And it will still attempt to thrash around on the next initiative. So, actually, there's some rules for explosive decompression in the book. We'll look them up. So, Lister has a 5 and needs to make a panic roll. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 trembling. Okay, so Lister is trembling with a -2 to agility. Let me quickly look up the explosive decompression rules for this. The outer hull of the Kronos has an armor rating of 6. Shots that miss the target in the compartment next to an exterior bulkhead risk rupturing the hull and causing explosive decompression. See page 73 of the rulebook. If this occurs, all doors... Okay, see page 73 of the rulebook. Not that rulebook. Page 107 in the main book. Alright, so first off, it has a hull of 6. We first roll its hull. If it gets no hits, then the hull is pierced. If it gets at least 1 hit, then we say that the bullet stops the hull. Although it's armor piercing, so it actually gets only 3 dice, not 6 dice. No hits. Okay, so it fails to stop the shot, which is bad news. The air in the room will vent out into space in a turn, and the intense draft will require everyone to make a stamina roll to perform any action. The stamina roll itself counts as fast action. The ship will automatically seal off the breech compartment. Once the air is gone, anyone still in the venting compartment will suffer the effects of vacuum. So, we then have... so, the hull is breached here. Crichton's go. Crichton, so most people are staying in the hull. Crichton is going to push everyone back away from the door in Crichton's action. And Crichton is going to be ready to shut the door and lock the door. The door's going to lock automatically after 1 turn. So when we get back to Crichton, the door is going to automatically seal, and that's that. So Crichton moves everyone back from the door, gets in the way, moves everyone back from the door on Crichton's turn. Back to the top. Parks, I'm going to make Parks make a mobility roll, a stamina roll, and then the stamina roll, mobility roll first. Parks needs at least 1 hit to get out of the door, avoiding the neomorph. Otherwise, the neomorph will be attacking next turn, Parks. So he needs at least 1 hit to get out of the door. He will need another hit to pick up the pulse rifle, or maybe 2 hits. 2 hits to get out of the door to avoid... so there we go. 1 hit gets him out of the door. That's natural. And then he can spend each of the other hits on something else. Avoiding the neomorph. Otherwise, the neomorph gets to attack him on his turn. And picking up his pulse rifle that got knocked to the ground. Because he's going to have to move from where he was knocked on the couch, grab his pulse rifle, and then try and bound out of the room in his turn. So he needs hits. Parks. He has 2 for mobility. He has 4 for agility. I don't know whether we would have experience points. I haven't been giving them experience points on a regular basis. And so I don't know whether we'd have the experience points, otherwise I would spend it to boost mobility, but we don't know that. And he's got 4 stress dice at the moment. Of course, if he freezes, then he's stuffed, which he can do if he rolls a 6 and he's got stress. Anyway, first things first, young Parksy, mobility roll please. What do we get? Okay, we've got 2 hits, which is enough for him to get to the door and get his pulse rifle, which has the incinerator, which he'll prioritise, and he'll still get to be attacked by the xenomorph, by the neomorph. But he does have to make a panic roll. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 keeps it together. So he keeps his head, he keeps cool, he bounds across, he leaps and rolls across the room, snatching up the pulse rifle, which he is a trained Marine. His weapon is his life. He will not leave that behind. And then bounds towards the door and just gets out of the door frame. But he's still within the long reach of the xenomorph, or the neomorph rather, who on its turn is going to do an attack on Parks to try and kill Parks. And then it dies. So it rolls a d6 for its attack. A 3 is a throw again. So it is going to basically, in its last dying breath, is trying to grab Parks and throw Parks at the opening, which might mean that Parks gets trapped. Now the question is, would Crichton hold the door open, or does Crichton want to get rid of Parks? So he gets 9 dice, 3, 6, 9 dice. This is the neomorph's attack. No hit. Oh, 1 hit. The neomorph makes 1 hit on its attack against Parks. Parks might survive it. Parks has 5 for his strength, 2 for close combat, and he's on 4 stress at this point. So the neomorph grabs the back of Parks' belt as Parks is just getting out of the door. Oh, but Parksy turns, slaps his hand away, and then, because this is basically the end of the turn, because then the neomorph doesn't get to go again, and hits the door to close the door. Or we could say Rimmer, on Rimmer's turn, closes the door, and they all back away from the door as the emergency signals and the emergency light above the door starts signalling that this door is under compression, and the door locks tight, and the culprit suite is now out of bounds. So this bit is dropped in the middle of the flow, because I forgot to do this whilst I was recording. If you're enjoying what you're watching so far and you're not yet a subscriber, can I ask, it would be lovely if you could subscribe. I produce these all the time and doing stories. If you could be a subscriber, you'll get to know when I produce the next stories. Sorry if this interrupts the flow of the story, but I forgot to do it because I was enjoying myself. And so hopefully you can subscribe and join us and all other subscribers for continuing these stories. Sorry, we'll go back to me doing the story now. Culprit Suite is out of bounds and Junction A1 is out of bounds. Shall I tell you what was in the Culprit Suite? The Culprit Suite had drugs hidden under the bed. It had a wall safe that could be opened with a Comtech roll, which had $1 million worth of rare cash bills. It had a wet bar that could have kept them quite happy. And there was a fully functional escape pod behind that door there. But the whole of this is now out of bounds. They can't get any of that stuff. Okay, so they're standing at the doorway. They're all looking at each other. They're panting quite hard. I think, who's got the biggest? Somebody is going to have to be... Crichton will calm... Oh, Rimmer. Rimmer is looking panicked. Parks wasn't Parks. Who was shaking? Was that Lister? Lister's looking panicked. And Cat is looking panicked. Okay, so Lister, Cat... So Cat was on the -2 from last one, but that -2 will go because that panic session is over and done with. Lister is panicked from this. Rimmer has got high stress. They are not in a safe place at the moment for Crichton to try and talk them down and use calming presence, reduce stress for one character by once per turn, because they're not exactly in a safe position at the moment. Crichton is going to... Right, where can we go? Mess hall? We haven't tried the mess hall. The mess hall might be a big place with tables that we could put the Ava on and see if we can get Cat to repair the Ava and find out what is going on here. Because hopefully the Ava can actually tell us. So Parks made his stress roll because he rolled a 6, didn't he? So he made his stress roll. So Parks is going to start to take a bit of control of this situation, because Rimmer he's stressed up to his eyes and starting to shake, and Rimmer's not great at this anyway, though Rimmer has command and pulls rank all the time. Rimmer's getting really stressed and doesn't know how to deal with a situation like this. So let's give Parks a go. Parks is going to have a go at rolling manipulation, which is a 3, and he's got 4 stress dice. If he can get at least 1 hit, people will listen to him, and he can then make his plan. Yep, 1 hit. 1 hit, no fails. Okay, so Parks is going to say, we need somewhere to repair this Ava. We need to know what's going on. I'm not happy to explore the Deck C and Deck D yet. We need to sort ourselves out. We need to get a bit of rest. You lot need to calm down. You're shaking and twitching like anyone's business, because I think a lot of them are trembling because they've got -2 next to their agilities, which means they must be trembling. They're looking scared. They've not dealt with a situation like this before. They're roughnecks who just do transportation. I'm say we either go to the armory, get re-equipped, or we go down to the mess hall. My personal preference is we go over to the armory, we get equipped, we go to the mess hall, we get this Ava fixed. We are not armoured at the moment to deal with this. I'm running out of rounds at a drastic rate, and we know that there's John's out there somewhere, and who knows what other ones of those creatures are out there. We saw that nest in the science lab. Now, we did see a nest in the science lab last session, which means there is a neomorph running around here, a fully grown neomorph running around here somewhere. There's at least 1 neomorph running around it. We've also got the neomorph that's in the... Ooh! Is John's going to have enough sensibility to open up the door to Mother and let that fully grown neomorph out, which means we've got 2 neomorphs and John's running around in here somewhere. So Parks is going to say that they're all going to listen because they're standing here. It's just over here to get to the armory and then over here to get to the mess hall. So they're going to go to the armory first because they're listening to Parks because they're all scared. And as soon as they get into the armory, we'll give Crichton a chance to speak to one of them and calm one of them down. And then the others can be afterwards they get to the mess hall. Though I haven't read the mess hall. I have no idea what's in the mess hall. Though I did briefly read the armory. So this is getting to the armory door. Okay. Okay. All right. What have we got left? We had Flynn last time. Doing John's now removes some of our... Oh, okay. What I might do, right? So there's something that might happen in Act 3. We might fire off with this one. Okay, there's an event from... Is this Act 1 or Act 2, this event? Act 1. There's an Act 1 event called Sensory Ghost Redux, which can happen in Act 2 or Act 3. Well, that one happened. We got anything else? No. All right, so we'll do this one. We'll do this one. Well, I tell you what, we'll roll. Where's my fudge dice? Okay, we were going to have positives. It's either the neomorph or John's attacks because they're hanging out in the armory. They've just been exploring the traces of them. Anything other than full-blown positive. Oh, and last time that was a negative. I said a cancel. It wasn't a cancel. Anything other than full-blown positive, and we will use Sensor Ghost Redux as the event, which might reoccur a couple of times as well. We might reuse that one. So positive, it's something they're going to have to fight again. Plus and negative cancels. Neutral. Okay, so Mother starts to basically broadcast over the tannoy. Collision warning. Foreign object critically close to Kronos. Collision warning. That goes for about 5 minutes. Well, 5 minutes, that goes for a few heartbeats and signals. Putting everyone's stress up 1 and making everyone roll a panic dice. Making a panic roll because they're starting to signal there's a possible collision. Dave Lister's going to be done. Cat could be done as well. All right, everyone's got to make a panic roll. This is just as they get to the doorway of the armory. Parks is on 5, 6, 7. Nervous twitching. We're not going to have a cascading at this. Cat is on 5. Oh, 5. That's 11. Seek cover. You must use your next action to move away from danger and find a safe spot if possible. You're allowed to make a retreat roll. All right, so Cat is going to attempt to run and hide. 2, 4, 6. Lister's on 6. So that's 7. That's just nervous twitching. Rimmer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Scream your lungs out for 1 round, losing your next slow action. Your stress level is decreased by 1, but everyone makes an immediate panic roll. They've already panicked anyway. Okay, so Rimmer just starts to scream, but his stress goes down by 1. Then we're back up to crying. Cat is going to... Where's Cat gonna leg it to? Cat will leg it... would he feel the armory's safe? So they've just got to the door, opened up the armory, where I'll describe what the armory looks like, and then we'll decide whether Cat charges into the armory. Armory. Stripped bare, this room has a single Wayland storm rifle. We're on reload. A case of shotgun shells. Dried milky way splatter on the floor. It's clean. There's no danger in this room. Right. Cat is going to run in and go into one of these lockers and basically hide in one of the lockers. And just Cat is hiding. They are hiding in one of these lockers. They're in there and they're not coming out. So Crichton is going to have to roll to try and calm Cat down to get Cat out. And that's that. And that signal starts going off. And then all of a sudden, as quickly as it starts, it stops. They will do a shifty around the room. It's not difficult to find. So there is a pulse rifle. Who is actually trained? So Rimmer is actually trained in ranged combat. So giving Rimmer the pulse rifle is not a stupid idea. So Parks will give Rimmer a talking to and hand Rimmer the pulse rifle with 1 reload, and is going to hand Lister the shotgun shells, which means that the shotgun is now usable, but there are no reloads left still with the shotgun. All right, so they've all got that stuff. Parks is going to ask Crichton what's wrong with the ship? What's wrong with the ship? And that's where Lister might pipe in, because I think one of the things they have to fix is the comms, is the actual sensors. The comm array. Repairing this requires a spacewalk. 1 turn. Okay, so the comm array needs to be fixed, which is going to allow them to do. So they need to fix the comm array. So Lister's going to probably go. Let's make Lister make a Cat. Cat can actually be useful. Cat can roll Comtech because it might be Comtech. I think it's Comtech to fix it. Yes, it's a Comtech roll to fix it. So Cat is going to roll 4 with 5 wits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this isn't to fix it. This is just to get the knowledge. So I'm not going to roll panic dice. Just needs 1 hit. Yeah, definitely. Okay. So Cat is going to say the comm array's out and it's got to be fixed. That's probably just like a ghost sensor reading from the comm array. So that's them knowing that there's this signal and the comm array's bust up. They need to fix it. All right. Now, on to the mess hall. Parks feels a bit better because now we've got people who know how to use weapons with weapons. He's telling them all to keep their heads up. So Flynn is well and truly. Flynn's out floating in space at the moment. Dead, but floating in space all the same. So Parks is telling everyone, keep your heads up, keep your eyes up, heads on the swivel. We need to make our way over to the mess hall. Cat probably will start going on about the EVA suits again. Parks is going to say, screw that. We're going to the mess hall as direct as we can. So that would be 1, 2, roll on the mess hall, roll in the mess hall corridor, roll to get into the mess hall. Mess hall corridor, clear. Mess hall, clear. All right, they get into the mess hall. Let's read the mess hall. And then we'll decide whether we will call it a day or do some more. Food stores were ravaged. It looks like a pack of rabid raccoons have been through here. Most of the exposed food stores. So they wouldn't be rotten. So the food would probably be stale and bad, but edible. Someone has been making origami animals out of metallic paper, setting them up. Okay, that's the weird thing. There's origami animals all around the room. Okay, so food is missing, but there is enough food to start eating. And this is where we are going to start tracking food. So I am going to quickly read about tracking food. and then we will do a food and water roll for everyone to see how they are feeling food and water wise. All right, so it's just the same as the other stuff, but we'll say that because they've been hanging around, that they each have a food and water rating at the moment of 3. Crichton doesn't need one. Parks, 1, 2, 3. So 4 of them actually track. So Cat, food, cool. Water, cool. Cat is neither hungry or thirsty. Rimmer, food goes down to 2, so he's all right, but has been eating. Water, fine. Parks, food goes down by 1. Water goes down by 1. Parks has been consuming more than the rest because of more activity and stress. And then we've got Lister, fine, fine. Okay, so they've got to the mess hall. They basically have a bit of a rest, a bit of a breather. Crichton is going to speak to probably Rimmer first. He's going to talk to Rimmer. He's going to spend, let's say he spends 4 turns calming everyone down, because there's 4 of them that need to be calmed down. That's about an hour. So he spends an hour calming people down, and as he's doing that, Cat will spend an hour working on Ava, and we will end the session with whatever the outcome of the Ava repair is. So everyone gets to go down by 1, and we'll give them another one that can down by stress, which is their own special little whatevers to go down by stress. There might be some medicines that Crichton might suggest they could go back and search the medical area and see if there's any medicine there, because I think there were some drugs there, but they didn't find them. All right, now Cat is going to be asked to fix the Ava, and Cat might like doing that because it might give Cat something to focus on other than all of this horror that's going on around them. All right, so fixing the Ava is based off fixing any synthetic, which is in the main rulebook. Repairs. Andrews don't heal, instead the shift work, and instead a shift of work. A shift being, okay, so it's going to take quite a few hours to fix that. So they'll all be able to reduce their stress by, say, another 2. Okay, so Cat is going to need to do a contact roll to repair all lost health points and all critical. Okay, so they'll all reduce their stress. So it's going to be a shift of work. So they're going to stay here and rest here for a shift. We'll do 2 rolls, 2 or 3 rolls. No, 2. What? No, we'll just let time slip to get the Ava fixed, because then we can find out what's going on, and that will help the story progress. We'll do 1 roll on the act dice. Oh, go on. We don't want anything this time. No, you would do. All right. Oh, okay, that's fine. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to go off again. The close proximity warning will go off again, which we want to happen. So the close proximity warning will go off 1 more time, and we'll do another roll. If we get a double, then they get attacked. Otherwise, it's the close proximity roll. It goes off a couple of times over the 5 to 6 hours that they're in there, and by the end, they're sort of like, one of the next things they're going to have to want to do is to fix. They definitely want to fix the comm array. That's something they're going to want to do. So 1 more roll. No, nothing. Otherwise, they would have got attacked. Okay. Cat's stress is clear. Parks is clear. Parks had 3, Cat had 3. Lister's got 4. We'll clear that for an hour's worth for like a shift. And 4. So they're all like been able to have a bit of relax. They've all had a rest. They've all sort of like had a bit of a doze. Parks has been keeping watch. Cat has been working the whole time and been quite enjoying it because Cat gets to focus on the work. We now give Cat a contact roll, but with no stress because of losing the stress, and using the electronics kit gives +2. So Cat gets 1 more roll on top of this. Oh man alive, 1 hit. That was lucky. 1 more. The 1 hit. 1 hit off of 11 dice. 1 hit. Okay, so Cat gets 1 hit. It takes the whole of the shift. All right, let's do 1 more of these. Okay, it goes off again. So it's gone off quite a few times, and by this point that they're ignoring it. It takes the whole of the shift. All right, we'll finish off. We've probably got enough time to do this. So the Ava comes back online. is looking a bit panicked to start off with. We will have Crichton is going to speak to the Ava and attempt to calm the Ava down. Okay, that means they'll get an extra crew member, another Ava. So the Ava's going to say, "Oh, hello. Have I been unconscious for a while?" And then Kat's going to say, "Oh yeah, you've been. Well, I've had to fix you. It's taken hours, but I'm glad to see you back. Thank you very much. That was very kind of you to repair me. How is the rest of the crew? Exo Johns and the rest, are they all okay? I've been trying to keep them alive after the accident. Accident feels like the right word. After the accident, but it's been difficult. There's quite a few unfriendly things running around the ship. I locked them into cryo storage and I left them there, and I've been trying to defend them since then. There's a few things that are going to cause them problems. Have you seen them? Are they okay?" This is where Crichton is going to attempt to roll empathy and to structure in as best way as possible, basically stepping in front of Parks, who's going to step forward to say, "No, they're all dead." And Crichton just has 8 for empathy, 2 because he doesn't have manipulation. He's going to be as empathetic as possible and attempt to step forward and speak to the Ava. We need at least 1 hit, which is lucky because we only got 1 hit. So Crichton is going to, as calmly as possible, explain to the Ava that sadly all of the original crew have died in a variety of circumstances. One member of the crew, the executive officer Johns, they believe is still alive. Something happened and he went incredibly aggressive and then ran away. The same thing happened to medical officer Flynn, who then turned into a strange thing. This is where Ava is going to look fairly sad, and he's going to explain, that would be the inoculations. The medical team attempted to create a cure for, she is going to say, Agent AO-3959X.91-15, which is on board. This is within, then she'll describe those metallic vials, the tall metallic cylinders, and say it's the black substance that's within those. Now what have we got? So we've got that. And so she is going to say the stuff that Johns was supposed to say, but we never said. So she is going to describe to them. She is going to describe, what's she going to describe to them? She's going to describe to them the receiving the vials having the black. So this is old Prometheus. If you've not seen Prometheus, sorry. But I'm surprised. He's going to describe the vials, how the black liquid comes out of the vials. It seems to be some form of artificially created chemical weapon. When it will grow these small motes, and she'll describe the motes that they saw, that Lister saw on the air scrubbers that infected Harrison and was on the floor, and they're going to say, "Oh, we've seen those, they're around here." And she's going to say how it seems that they produce, they call them egg sacs, and they're a danger, and the danger they pose is the little motes coming out. And she will say, what's she say? The doctor science that grows, that when you breathe those in, you become infected, and that causes a neomorphic entity to be grown within the body. Because of that, they came up with this inoculation. The inoculation seems to work with a large percentage of people. There are some of the inoculations within the laboratory, but in an incredibly rare case, it seems to have an adverse effect on the individual, and the individual then becomes, starts to mutate into something else. Possibly the inoculation just needs a little bit of work, and then that'll be all right. That they should, does she advise them to take the inoculations? But the inoculations are in the medical lab. So she tells them that there are inoculations in the medical lab, that the motes, the egg sacs are dangerous and don't breathe in, but she doesn't know how long they last outside of air. Does she not know how long they live for? I vaguely recall that the motes do not live long in air. Oh, she will say killed by fire. that she knows because they torched, she will say they torched Science Lab 2 to protect anybody from the motes that had developed in there. And I think that's what she knows, because that's what John should have told them, and that's what she knows to tell them based on what is in here. So that's the information they now have about that. She will also say that she knows that the engines need to be repaired, the comm array needs to be repaired, and the air scrubbers needs to be repaired. And she will suggest, no, she won't suggest, because I just thought of it just now. Basically, Crichton and she can fix the air scrubbers and not be affected by the air motes that are in there, whereas Lister can't do that because Lister can be affected by it. Oh, she'll also say that the reactor control room needs to be cleaned up to allow the engines to work. And that's it. Basically, she's saying the stuff that they haven't already found out. So we now know what they have to do next. They've got to fix the comm array, they've got to fix the ship, and then they are going to be able to get back to some form of safety. But we have John's the Abomination running around, and we have the neomorph. They'll tell her about the neomorph in the mother, and she will then say, we will have to deal with that to bring systems back online. We might need to go in and speak to the mother. And that is where we'll end. I completely forgot to say in the middle of all that, please subscribe. So I'll make my mind up whether you've already seen me in my grey t-shirt, or I'll say it now. Thank you very much for being a subscriber. If you are not a subscriber and you have enjoyed all that shenanigans, please do hit that subscribe button down there. It will be really awesome. Also, I'd like to say thank you to those who have joined the membership. If you join the membership, you can get your name up there with the Adventurers Guild. Thank you very much for all of your support. Thank you very much for watching for this point. And I will leave you there. For next session, we will find more alien fun, and we will start moving. I believe we're moving towards Act 3 and the final nonsense. Well, it's kind of fun. I'm quite enjoying this. Of Chariot of the Gods. See ya.